Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is Messy.
The following message is brought to you by Novartis. Since partnering with Novartis, I have been thinking a lot about when I was diagnosed with relapsing MS. I kept it a secret at first, and that robbed me of the support I really needed. I finally found the courage to open up about it and quickly learned the importance of speaking up. That means making your voice the loudest in the room. You have to find an MS specialist who's the right fit, who makes you feel seen and heard. It's kind of like dating. That's why I partnered with Novartis to create a 3-step guide to inspire others to own their RMS journeys, recognize their needs, and find a treatment that works for them. Learn more about my story at reframingms.com.
Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
Thank God. Thank God,
Thank God for that. And welcome to Messy.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you again?
I forget. Will you tell me?
Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
Did I ever tell you that I have friends that they like to switch initials around in their names, and so I became Jamie-Lynn Jigler. Lamey Sin Jigler. That's what it was.
Lamey Sin Jigler.
Lamey Sin, and they still call me Lamey Sin all the time.
I'm going to call you that from now on. You know, Linda Cardellini calls me Applegate. Did I ever tell you the story about Applegate?
That's so good. No.
So I go to New York. This was many, many years ago, to a hotel that I have frequented. I won't name the name of it because it was before I would never walk through those doors ever again. It's too bad that the man ruined that particular hotel.
Damn.
I think we know who I'm talking about. And I walk up and the woman behind the counter goes, "Oh, welcome back, Miss Applegate." And I thought she was kidding. No, she wasn't. She thought my name was Christina Applegate. So
I don't know why that really tickled my bone there.
So I call Linda Looney, Cardellini, and she calls me Applegate.
That's so good.
And that's that.
I love it.
I know. I miss her. Anyway, there was something I wanted to talk about, and because it kind of struck me. I woke up in the morning and I had this like memory of something from many years ago, and it kind of all ties into like all the things that we've been doing recently. You know, going like take photo shoots and going on things, and my own weird insecurities about my aging, how I look, and all of this stuff. And I remembered I did this movie many years ago, and I was doing ADR for it, which for people who don't know, that means that you go in and you fix the sound of your voice, and it's almost like lip syncing, but it's not. But you have to see your face so that you can sync it up. And they kept pausing it, and it was like they paused it, and it was like Jowl McJowelton, like every time. And I was like, I hate that. Please stop pausing it. And the director goes, "Yeah, I know. We had to spend a lot of money to fix that." And I went, What? He goes, "Yeah, the studio was really upset." And he goes, "Yeah, I mean, I told them it's like, she's not Kelly Bundy anymore. And, so she looks older." And they literally erased my face. They erased my face.
Speechless.
And I was like, he's like, "Yeah, it was like $200,000 to fix my face." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, junior executive who probably masturbated to my fucking posters, you
That's
dickhead."
Right.
I was 18 years old and I am in my 40s now. Like, what in the hell? Erased my face. And that's why I told you guys that I said erase my face so I could remember what was said to me, basically. And then it was, and this was years ago. This was before I was sick. It was before I was even older. Now I'm AARP and all of that. But as we all know, I got nominated for an AARP award. So, that's very grateful. Thank you.
Yes.
AARP. Just didn't know I was there yet because I still think I'm 19 in my head, and I'm a 12-year-old boy with my humor, but I'm, they, and
I cannot believe that man said that to you.
He didn't think
I'm
I
in
would
shock.
care. He didn't think I would
What?
care because he said I was so tough. I was such a tough person.
That makes me more mad. That makes me even more mad.
But he's a friend of mine still, and I love him. So
He
didn't
is?
know. And yes, and he chased me out to the car as I left, and he went, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
Did you say something back in that moment?
I said that hurt. That hurt me.
Good for you.
But it wasn't him who did it. It was the studio.
Yeah, but his relay of that message was really fucked up.
Yeah, but I adore him. And if you're listening, person, I adore you. And it's okay.
You can forgive, but we can call out a bad behavior.
It just made me just like, I suffered inside from that because
of course
I didn't know I was so ugly, that they had to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to erase my face. And that's why I call it that. Each little frame to have to go through and erase my face because I didn't look young enough. And, that's the thing about aging in aging period and how women feel about aging. But aging in this business, it's like they throw you out to pasture, unless you're ready to play grandmothers, right. Being in that middle age, but that age of where you can't be the mother, but you can't be the grandmother. So you're the weird aunt or whatever the heck it is. And it just made me start thinking, because, of course I've thought about doing plastic surgery. And of course I've thought about it. I went to a plastic surgeon to get a thread lift. And I'm going to be really honest about it. This was a couple years ago. And he goes, I can't because your face is too fat. So,
told me that.
So couldn't get that done. Yeah. That one hurt too. But I also respect the doctor who's like, I'm not taking your money if it's not going to work. And also, like with MS, I don't know if this is a misnomer, but a lot of doctors won't do surgery on you if you have MS because they're afraid of complications because of our MS. Mm-hmm. And I talked to my neuro about it and she goes, no, you'd be fine. But I'm still stuck in that mindset. So it's like, what you see is what you get now, man. I mean, I don't know what else to do. But I don't know. That's just where my brain just goes like, well, should I just do that? And then I'm like, those
are those little moments, big moments, but they're those brief moments that have such an impact on us in our lives, that you can pick out through the timeline of your life that like either change a trajectory of how you view yourself or think about yourself. And that's why I was saying, like, I'm not saying that person is an overall bad person, but his choice of words in that moment, because he thought you had a certain candor or you're tough or that you can speak to each other a certain way, said what he said. And those things stick with us and hurt us. And I'm really proud of you for bringing it up. Because look, the erasing of the face has been happening probably since the beginning of it being invented, that they could do that. I mean, women forever in this industry have been taping their face back or doing whatever they could to hold on to some sort of youth. And it's fucked all of us up. It's fucked us up in the industry and then in the world, because movies and television is like, they're telling stories representing the world. So it's like showing us how we have to view the world. And this has nothing to do with what happened to you, but I had somebody call me out on a project not too long ago. I had the editor call me and be like, I'm having a really hard time working around the way you walk. It just doesn't look right.
Fuck off.
And no. I was me then in a certain way where I just like panicked and apologized and was like, I'll work harder. I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah, it's just making my job really hard to work around the way you walk.
Fuck you, dick.
Yeah, but he was a nice guy too.
Yeah, right. I know, but still, I'm very protective of you as well.
I know, but these people, they just don't understand. Like they don't think about the repercussions past this comment. Like that's what made me really fucked up and insecure about and more self-conscious about the way I move than I already was.
Then they need to fucking film us differently. That's the thing. And I was thinking about this too, Boo, because we talk about a lot about fear of going back to work and, and I'm having like this idea of like, I might want to. And now I'm like, oh shit, we're being so honest about this. Are they going to think that I'm not going to be able to do it? Well, I filmed an entire season of television with this disease. and,
That's right.
was very successful with it,
That's
as far
right.
as the work I was doing. It's about the work that you're doing. It has nothing to do with all of that stuff. But, I also, like, at 27 years old, I was on a show, and one of the producers, very famous people who did a very famous show as well, said, "Hey, we're having trouble lighting under your eyes. Your bags under your eyes are so big." And now that's a hereditary thing. And he goes, "I suggest you get them removed." And you know what I did?
You got them removed.
At 27 years old. I had the only plastic surgery I've ever had was to remove the bags under my eyes. And, at first I was like, oh my God, it's like the first time I'd seen myself without bags under my eyes, because it is like, it's like my dad has got like Louis Vuitton luggage under his eyes, like it's very much a hereditary thing. But I went under and I had them removed, and at 27, and it, like, the things people just plant, these seeds they plant into your head. And that, as we talked about in some other, episodes about just our shame.
Yes.
Of what we're going through. And that
is such a big part, I think, of everybody's lives. We all find things that trigger us, that make us feel shameful. And I'm really glad you brought that up, because I've really been wanting to talk about our own issues with shame. I've dealt with shame my entire life, for all different reasons. I found a lot of different things to feel shameful of, but one that I think is, relative, is important to talk about on this podcast because of the subject matter. I probably should have been using a cane for a very long time. And I only just started bringing one out this past year or two, because I have a lot of shame around it. And I need some help figuring that out, because I don't understand myself at this point with that. I feel like I've done so much work on acceptance, and I would never think twice about seeing somebody out with a cane, but I'm the recipient of the extra stares and the looks and and I give myself the own, definition of what those looks mean, or or the judgments that come along with them, which probably aren't true. But I've stopped myself from giving myself the help that I need to navigate the world, because I'm so shameful to carry a cane. And I really wish I wasn't that way, but I really struggle with it big time.
I wish you weren't that way either. I mean, it's not because of, I feel self-conscious when I have my cane. I feel self-conscious about the fact that I'm like this, but I know for myself, I don't know what would be worse, me falling.
I know.
Or having this, like, this thing that I have that sometimes I don't even need it, Jamie. And you know that. You see me walk around my house. I can walk around my house without a cane, but the second I go outside and my fear kicks in, and the noise and the people and the nervous system reacting to that, I'm glad I have it, because then I'm not afraid. And I don't want you to be afraid. And, people know you have this, my love.
I know. And that's the thing too, is like,
you're not giving up by using it, Jamie.
I know.
You're not giving up. You're saying,
I
hey.
know. I think that's what I kind of worried too, was like, that people would just assume that I wasn't doing well because I was walking with a cane. Everything about, until this podcast, everything about how I've talked about this disease and how it's affected me was because I'm just so afraid of not being hired. It's the truth.
And you have been this whole fucking time.
I know, but it's also too, when we're talking about like the power that Hollywood has and the images they put out and the stories they tell, like, there's no stories of women out there like us. There's no one on screen that are like fully formed humans that walk with a cane or are walking around. They're usually sympathetic characters or villains or whatever. And it's just, it's so much more than that. But a lot of it, I'm sure, is because of my career that I care deeply about. But I also understand that like the 10 years that I tried to pretend that I live in an able body were hell.
Yeah.
Complete hell. I mean, crying every single night that I would get home from work, not enjoying a single moment of it. But I can only imagine, and I hope that, which sounds fucked up, but like, I hope that there are other people that do feel like this way because, and I would love to hear from people, like, how do you get through it? How do you get past it? Is there one day that you're just like, fuck it, this is me? Maybe it's when I play a role with and bringing the cane. I don't know what it is, but it's just, the cane has represented so many things to me.
Right.
Negative. And I really want to work on shifting that and looking at it as a powerful tool that I can use to continue to navigate the world despite what I'm going through.
I agree. And, yeah, sometimes, when I'm out and I do have my cane, it's like everyone wants to kind of help you. And at the same time, I'm like, let me just do it, like, please stop grabbing my arm, like, let me just do it. But then sometimes my legs are like, no, we actually need more help. And I don't know. Having the cane also, I give people kind of a breath of going, oh, okay, she has the cane, so she's going to be okay. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to even say. It's like, I have it. I can hit people with it. I wouldn't hit people with it, but
it's a tool. My kids, there's times where I've sat down, my son will be like, can I use that? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
He's created holes in the ground with it. He's had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Sadie likes to go out in our driveway and ride in my wheelchairs. So, yeah, I'll be like, where's Sadie? Rachel's like, she's in the driveway in the wheelchair.
Christina and I did have a brilliant idea for a comedy bit of riding around on Rascals one day that hopefully will manifest.
I hope so.
That would.
I have not used my beep beep yet. I have to use my beep beep. It's just so big to fit in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got it so I could go to the farmer's market, and I haven't used it yet. And it's got the basket.
You should get a wagon.
Okay.
Get a wagon that you can lean on. There's so many different versions. There's like Veer makes a good one. Jeep, the brand, makes a good one. That's the one I have. Just wanted to take a quick break and share a word from one of Messi's advertisers. Since partnering with Novartis, I have been thinking a lot about when I was first diagnosed with relapsing MS. And to be honest, I was overwhelmed and in denial, and I didn't want to accept it. Eventually, I had to be real with myself, reflect on what was important, reframe how my diagnosis was impacting my life, and focus on how I was feeling. And I wish I'd started thinking about my needs sooner. It helped me get to a place of acceptance and find the right treatment choice for me. And I really hope others don't wait as long as I did. That's why I partnered with Novartis to create a 3-step guide, hoping it can help people speak up and voice their needs. Get the guide at reframingms.com. Messi is supported by AG1. We obviously talk a lot about our health, working on our health, trying to improve our health. And part of that is drinking AG1 every morning. I do it right when I wake up. I mix it with some cool water. I think it tastes great. And it makes me feel like I'm starting my day right because it is a foundational nutritional supplement, if you didn't know, that delivers daily nutrients and gut health support. And it's also backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you are putting in your body, which we all love and need.
So they're posting results online from their studies. It was really interesting to see how many of the study participants had the same feelings of energy, focus, and supported digestion that I've had using AG1. For example, after 60 days, 91% of participants in a research study noticed that they needed less coffee. And after 90 days, 97% of study participants felt their digestion improved.
That's amazing.
Right? So I'm going to give you a little stats. Here's some stats.
Give me stats.
At 30 days, okay, now we're just at 30. 80% of people in a research study noticed less gas and bloating. 97%, 97% of people in a research study felt more energy. Now, at 60 days, 82% of people in research study felt less stressed. Hello. At 90 days, 94% of people in a research study felt more calm. And finally, 97% of people in a research study felt digestion improved. Hello.
There you go. Well, if we had to recommend one product to support whole body health, it's AG1. And that's why we're excited to welcome them as a new partner. It's easy and satisfying to start your journey with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/messy. That's drinkag1.com/messy. Check it out.
Support for Messy comes from Peloton. So when I had heard of Peloton bikes, when it was just bikes before it was dominating the whole exercise world, I was so excited because I was boring myself to tears in my little home gym on my really old spin bike with my cassette tapes. Yes, kids, there are things called cassette tapes that my spin teacher had made, and I would give myself a class. And I found out that there was this incredible thing called Peloton, and you were part of like a community, and there were people talking to you, and you weren't alone. And I was like, this is so for me. And I remember getting on it the first time and losing my stuff. I met Ramen Arzone, I met Cody Rigsby, I met Jessica King, and of course, the incomparable DJ John Michael, who makes every class to me that much more special. So it was like my everything, my obsession. And I had just like, I feel like I was trying to get rid of baby weight. And you know what happened? Bing, bang, boom. Healthier, had more energy, and got rid of some of that weight. So I'm obsessed with Peloton, and I'm even more obsessed with trying the tread because I have an old treadmill from probably 1845, and walking is really good for people with MS if we can. And I can't wait to do that because, again, I won't feel lonely. I'll feel like I have a friend. So get yourself moving with Peloton at onepeloton.com/running. That's Peloton at onepeloton.com/running. And again, mention us. Messy. Thanks.
I have to say, like, even just getting that out right now made me feel better. I have had like years of keeping that inside because I've never talked to anybody that could really understand, because you can talk to my girlfriends about it, but they don't, and they love me and they would listen. But like, there's just something about saying it to somebody who gets it.
I'm so glad you said it. And, had I been able to keep this under wraps when I was doing Dead to Me, I might have struggled with that as well. Mm-hmm. But I had to. Like, I had to have a wheelchair take me to set. I had to use my cane when we were rehearsing. And then when we weren't, it was, cane's gone and me going, all right, guys, you're making me stand around the corner on my, my cue area, and you're taking too long. And I took that strength from you to be like, all right, nope, no more fucking around, no more talking. I'm still standing here. I'm going to fall over. We got to go.
So proud of you.
But, and then ended up doing, months and months of work. But I had to, because I was so like, I had to tell people that had to happen.
But going back to something you just said before, and we touched on it, like, for you and I to be able to talk the way we're talking about how this disease affects us is important and empowering and incredible. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. But like you're saying, like, people pull out something that you say, clickbait it, and then you're worried, like, oh, does everybody think now that I can't do this? And that's fucking scary.
I know.
Our livelihood. These are our jobs, I know,
but the thing is that you've proven that you can.
Mm-hmm.
But in between the noise, I want you to feel safe.
Yeah.
I want you to feel safe. Like, we don't have to be on camera with canes. We've proven that we don't have to. And but I want you when you're out to feel as safe as you can.
I know.
Because, what's the alternative?
I know.
What if something happens and you hurt your head? Or I don't know. I get really worried about this shit, Jamie, with you. I want you to.
I don't like the sympathy looks.
I know, but
I don't like them. I get angry inside about them, and which is terrible because somebody is being a compassionate human being, but like, I don't know. It's like, I don't like being like, oh, poor her, poor Jamie. It's just it really irks me.
I know. I did a podcast yesterday, and it's an on camera, and it was someone I know, and I could see it, the look in his eyes, like he wanted to cry. Someone I've known for a long time, and I said, yeah, I know, it's hard, isn't it? I said, it's hard. It's hard for me to see, so I can only imagine someone who hasn't seen me since I've been like this to see someone that like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our like this in our mind is a lot worse than what is actually happening.
Yeah, I know.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that, and just to know, we have awesome canes.
We have the best. Well, I'm going to say
Neo walk sticks, baby.
The fact that they are gorgeous and like chic is what got me walking with them and like bringing them out. I went to a concert with my husband a couple of weeks ago, and I had this like a cute little jean skirt on and a sweater and these boots, and I brought out my cane, and I got stopped by so many people just being like, your look is everything. And there you go. But I know a lot of it was because I assume I should say that a lot of it is because people are like, oh, look at her. Like, good for her,
No, they look at you because you're freaking hot. You're a hot piece of A, and you had a awesome, dope punk rock cane.
Yeah.
Which they do have light up ones too. So
I know. I need that. I need to get one of those.
I mean, I've got like 10 of them just sitting at the door, and I'm like, well, which one am I going to use today? I usually just use
do have a beautiful assortment.
Assortment.
As I saw.
My fuck you MS cane is my favorite, of course, always. But
same.
But yeah, I mean, look, there was a guy who is a friend of Los Angeles. His name's Josh Richmond, and I've known Josh since I was 3 years old. Josh walked around with a cane.
For fashion.
I think he still uses a cane for fashion. And he's like dope. He's Josh Richmond.
Yes.
You always know, you're like, people are like, oh, I don't know that name. And I'm like, the dude with the cane. They're like,
that's right.
Oh, yes, Josh Richmond. He doesn't wear shoes. I think he wears shoes now. I love you, Josh, if you're listening.
Does he have MS? He's not wearing shoes.
No, he doesn't have anything going.
Kidding.
He has nothing. He has nothing. It's just like
he's
he had
such a good guy.
I know. We love Josh, but he had his little 8-ball cane.
Mm-hmm.
And for as long as I can remember, he just traveled around the world like Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
Isn't it Mr. Peanut with the cane?
Well, yeah. I mean, a guy's cut. It's like a different look with a dude, isn't it?
Yeah, but why don't we make it sexier? That's what Neo Walk does.
That's what we're going to do.
I actually sexy canes. Like, have you looked at their Instagram?
Yes.
And she's
beautiful women.
Beautiful women dressing like London cool.
That's right.
With their cool canes, and they look sexy, and they've got heels on, which I'll never understand that one.
I know. But I actually just called her and I was like, can I get 2 canes? I'm getting one black and then one lucite, just 2 inches taller, just for when I'm feeling a little adventurous and want to put a little high heel on. She's like, I'm so proud of you. Yes.
Oh, good.
I'm excited.
That's
we'll
our girl,
see
Lindsay.
if I don't break an ankle, but
oh my God, don't even knock.
Wait, so Allison just sent us this. The general evolvement of walking sticks as an accessory began with the sword.
Hello.
A common item for gentlemen to carry, the sword was gradually replaced by society with walking sticks and or canes as a symbol of gentility. Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh,
well, look at me all Gentile and shit.
You're so Gentile right now.
Well,
I mean, we should feel like regal with our canes because we can actually hit people with them, which we won't. But if you kind of feel like you need someone to move, you could just hit the back of their ankles. Don't do that. Please don't do that. My disabled friends, don't hit them. But I've thought about it. I'm not going to lie.
If I ran into that guy from ADR session, I might hit him in the ankles for you. And you can hit that editor for me.
Yes, we'll both. I was going to say something real offensive, but I'm not going to. Anyway, yes, we can.
I wish you would.
That.
Okay.
No, can't.
Okay.
No, cancel.
Well, again, thank you for letting me get that out.
I'm so glad you did.
I think there's a lot of shame that comes along with chronic illness.
Yeah.
In general. And life. And being a woman.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm sorry.
What do you feel shameful about?
I'm sorry for everyone. I'm just sorry for everyone in my life. As we talk about this so much about being a burden, and we've talked, we've ad nauseum talked about this, but like, I'm embarrassed and I'm sorry. And I didn't do it to myself, but I'm embarrassed and I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed
that you have the illness.
Yeah. That I'm not me anymore. That, they have to erase my face, or they have to, sometimes shoot around because I have to hold on to the counter, or which is not always the case because we are strong bitches. Yeah. And for that few pages, we can rock this shit, but give us a minute to sit down but yeah, I just feel it's like I said, with this podcast yesterday, which it was really beautiful. It's really one of the best ones I've been a part of. But even on Jimmy's on Kimmel, and I'm making jokes and stuff, and Jimmy goes, "But we're worried about you, Christina." Yeah. And I'm going to cry. And it's because that's the first time Jimmy had seen me, and I've been living now, almost 3 years. And so I'm kind of used to it, but that's the first time Jimmy has seen me.
Yeah.
And he was like really concerned.
He loves you.
I know. I love him too. I'm sure he loves me less because I won.
Marty loves more.
Marty loves more.
Yeah. Well, that's it was a hard pill for him to swallow, but he's got to take it. It's the truth. Yeah. Truth hurts sometimes.
The truth. I told him that a million times. But yeah, it's like I feel ashamed and I feel sorry because I don't want people to feel bad when they see me. I don't want that, but they will, and that's human nature.
Yeah, I do. I stress out too with because I moved out of Los Angeles, and so now when I go back, or if I see some friends that haven't seen me in a while, or in a couple of years, or even now, like me taking the cane out with myself, which I never did before, I can see them pause for a minute. And sometimes I stress too. I'll have anxiety about seeing somebody for the first time in a couple of years, and having them see where I'm at. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But see, when I see you, I don't see any of it. I see this gorgeous, super jealous of your hot body, and your smooth, beautiful olive skin, and your legs that are for days.
Should we get married?
I think so. We'd have to both get divorced first.
That's right. Well, I'm sure we could figure something out. Let's go to some state where that's
We'll
possible.
go to the state. We'll go to the state at Sadie. Oh my God, I have to tell you this. So when Sadie was in preschool, there was a love triangle that was happening. It was actually like a love fourple. So not a thruple, but a fourple. And she's like, and he wants to marry her, but I want to marry him. And she goes, I can't marry 4 people unless we go to that state where you can marry lots of people.
Utah.
I was like, how do you know these things? Because that's not something that I normally open conversations with my 5-year-old about. I don't know. She goes, we have to go to the state where they marry lots of people.
Oh my God, the cutest. Oh, that's so cute. I miss 4-year-old voices. Man. Well, I hope that other people that feel this type of shame find an outlet to talk. Because again, I'm going to say it again, and I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but I feel so much better right now having just said that.
I'm so glad, honey.
I've been sitting on it for years,
That's a lot. That's a lot of years to sit through something. And that shame is not just with our disabilities. There's shame with, sexual shame. And there's people hold on to shame for so many different reasons. And that's just the little quiet killer. And we don't want that.
What's the definition of shame, Allison? Will you look it up
Allison,
for us?
you teach us things. We need Allison to be on our podcast.
She'll be our most favorite guest. Okay, so the definition of shame is a painful emotion caused by consciousness of guilt, shortcoming, or impropriety. right? Impropriety.
Yeah, impropriety.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all those things.
We can feel shameful about so many things, that shortcomings. I mean, we're all feel like, we're not good enough at things. And feel shameful about it. But you have shame about your success sometimes.
Oh, big time.
What is that?
It all goes back to a core moment. I got in a series when I was like 13 or 14, I don't know, somewhere around there. And I had said to a friend of mine, I said, hey, if I ever start to act any differently, be honest with me. And I think it was like 13 or 14 at the time. And we were driving by the studio that I worked at, and on the radio was, she's a 20th Century Fox. And we were driving by 20th Century Fox, which is where I worked. And I said, oh, isn't that weird? We're driving by 20th Century Fox. And she whispers in my ear in the car, she goes, you're doing it. That was it. I never mentioned my work again. I never mentioned my accolades. I was ashamed of the success that was happening to me. I gave up my power to boyfriends who I would say they need the attention more than I do. So I'm just going to shut up. To this day, I'll get, nominated for an Emmy or something. And I don't even tell my mom or my dad. Like, they find out from some other sources and then text me like, why didn't you tell us you got nominated for an Emmy? And it's because I'm embarrassed by it. Because that means I'm doing it. I'm again, bragging.
One thing that somebody can say and can trigger something for their whole life.
I was 13 or 14 years old when that happened. I'm 52 years old. Okay. So we're talking almost 40 years and I still can't do it. I can't talk about my accomplishments. I get sick to my stomach.
What are you worried that people are going to abandon you or think that you are
bragging? Yeah.
But you wouldn't think twice if I called you and I was like, Christina, I got a job or I got this.
Oh my God, I would cry and jump up and down and
would you jump up and down?
Well, like a toddler jumps. Like a toddler in a diaper, which we've gone over.
We've sent videos. You can jump.
Yeah, for a second. And then I pee myself.
Well, that's any woman that's had a child.
Yeah. More so for us though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm totally embarrassed by it. The only time I brag about anything is when my daughter says that my singing voice is bad. And I go, were you nominated for a Tony? And then we giggle about it.
Boom.
I mean, I'm not literally saying that to her. I'm like, oh yeah, Renee, were you nominated for a Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical? And I pretty much say it like that, like a musical.
That's the way you only talk about Broadway.
Yeah. You're a real trooper, kid.
But thing is, you're not bragging. Like, this is what we have to change your mind about when you speak of work. It's not bragging. It's you have every right to say, I did this or I'm doing this, because you are, especially now in your life. I hope that this fucked up situation we're both in can get rid of some of that for you.
I don't know.
Because your success is solely because of you and your hard work and your God-given talent, and there's nothing braggy about it.
I know, but then it's like, with Dead to Me, I've had the most amount of, nominations for anything I've ever had in my life. Like a lot of them. I don't even know how many, but it was a lot. But then I'm like, oh, and I got to fittings. And, I put it all down. Yeah. And then I'm always like, and I'm totally not going to win. I'm never going to win. And, I put this all on myself. And it's so funny because the only Emmy I ever won was for a guest appearance on Friends, where I worked for 3 days. 3 days. The only one.
They were Emmy-worthy 3 days. So let's not minimize that.
I wasn't getting paid $1 million for 3 days like they were.
Wow.
3 days.
I know.
Table read to show 3 days a week.
Insane. You know your schedule every week.
Yeah. $1 million
a week. God bless them.
Amazing. Support for Messy comes from LMNT. LMNT is a zero-sugar electrolyte drink mix born from the growing body of research revealing that optimal health outcomes occur at sodium levels 2 to 3 times government recommendations. Each stick pack delivers a meaningful dose of electrolytes free of sugar, artificial colors, or any dodgy ingredients. LMNT is formulated for anyone on a mission to restore health through hydration and is perfectly suited for athletes, folks who are fasting, or those who follow keto, low carb, whole food, or paleo diets. My personal favorite is the citrus flavor of the LMNT because you just put it in the water and it's refreshing. I love anything refreshing that's like wakes up my mouth and then wakes up my cells and hydrates me. So I'm dehydrated. So it's pretty cool that LMNT is the exclusive hydration partner to Team USA, weightlifting, and many Olympic athletes. Get your free LMNT sample pack with any purchase at drinklmnt.com/messy. Also try the new LMNT Sparkling, a bold 16-ounce can of sparkling electrolyte water. Try LMNT totally risk-free. If you don't like it, we'll refund your order. No questions asked. Again, for your free LMNT sample pack, go to drinklmnt.com/messy. That is drinklmnt.com/messy. Bonjour.
Support for Messy comes from Babbel.
The best way to learn a language? Immersion. Living where the language is spoken and using it every day. But guys, that's not in the cards for all of us. We can still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babbel.
Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel has these quick 10-minute lessons that are handcrafted by over 200 language experts that will help you start to speak a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, they're accessible, they're rooted in real-life situations, and they are delivered with conversation-based teaching so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world.
Like this little ditty, fermez la bouche, means shut your mouth.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Okay, so check it out. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to, wait a minute, am I reading this right? 60% off?
What?
Your Babbel subscription, 60?
Wow. More than half.
But only for our listeners at babbel.com/messy.
Get up to, again, 60% off at babbel.com/messy, spelled BABBEL.com/messy. Rules and restrictions may apply. I have actually no doubt in my heart and mind that there will be another Emmy nomination coming, or all the nominations coming your way.
I'm gonna go to the AARP.
Well, you're going to be getting AARP nominations for the rest of your life now that you're in that club. But
Webby Awards. Is that a thing?
Yes, maybe we could get a Webby. But
do you go to that or you just Zoom it? It's a joke. It's a stupid joke. Sorry.
We don't know. We'll find out. Let us know. Nominate us and let us know. But you will, and I'm going to work through with you on that one, because maybe you'll feel more deserving finally of it because of what you go through and what you it's like almost MS has like shined a light on working through hard stuff, even though you've always been working through hard stuff, but maybe this finally will be the thing that will make you understand how exceptional you are.
No.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've always been like the blue collar worker, in the sense that there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like,
of course not.
People ask me, what's the secret to your longevity? And I always go mediocre success. That's kind of my joke, but it's not funny at the same time. It's kind of how I feel. Like I've only stayed in one lane and never got the brass ring. But I think that sometimes, I don't know, the brass ring, there's only one of them.
I don't view it that way from where I am. And I think that you know, you got to trust the lane that you're in and it's the best one for you. And that other lane might not be as desirable as we think it is. And you have longevity. That's exactly right. You've never crashed and burned. You've never.
Oh God, I have to fly in 2 weeks. Don't say something.
I thought you just said I have to fart. I was like, go ahead.
No. I have to fly.
Well, also listen to this. So Brene Brown
okay.
defines shame as this: an intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. Something we've experienced, done, or failed to do makes us unworthy of connection. And I think that that's what you're worried about.
I just saw the picture of myself next to that quote.
A picture of yourself next to that quote?
It was a joke.
Oh.
Like there's the
definition
quote
of.
the definition of.
I get it.
Going like
me. You're worried about the lack of connection with that shame, meaning that like you would have lost your friend and her respect and your friendship had you had any celebration for your success.
Well, I never wanted to be like all the other kid actors that were out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who
you never
like
were.
Was appalling to me, most of them, you know, and they were so involved with themselves, and they just all took themselves so seriously, and they walked in when they peacocked everywhere they went. And I was so not that kid. I was such a canyon kid. I was scrappy. I, wore patchouli, which one of the producers of Married with Children said that I smelled like goat's BO. So
goat's BO is patchouli?
Yeah, apparently to some people it smells like goat BO.
Give me a goat.
Okay. I don't like it now. I've grown out of the smell of that.
But it's not offensive.
I find it offensive now.
You do? Maybe because it was you OD'd on it?
I think I OD'd on it. I was just such a like Renaissance fair hippie weirdo, like punk kid.
I love
that. Was all the things. I was a dichotomy. I had like shaved head, but then like wore like combat boots and then like old vintage skirts and then pillowcases as skirts and then patchouli and weird eyeliner. And I don't know. I was so not.
I want some photos.
Okay. Wait, have you
Not
seen...
right now. You don't have to look right now.
No. I have to show you. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
No, my mom found my passport picture from when I was 13.
Oh my God, Christina.
Yeah, the sides were all shaved, and I was wearing like Applegate, and I'm wearing an army jacket.
You're so cool. Oh, I would have just been desperate for your friendship had I known you then.
13.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they let us go to They let us go to Europe on a field trip for my school with like 13-year-olds from all around the country and let us loose with like barely any adult supervision. We terrorized Paris. We terrorized London. We like one morning we woke up and one of my friends had thrown one of the mattresses out the window of our Paris hotel because she stole a bottle of brandy from underneath the maid's cart. And it got real. Sadie, you're not listening to this. This did not happen. None of these things happened.
This is all for entertainment.
Same friend. Wait, you're going to love this too. We go to Versailles on this huge bus and there's like 100 kids on the bus or whatever buses. I don't know how many people are on a bus.
Yeah.
Bus amount.
Yeah.
And we get halfway back to Paris and we realize we had left her there. And I'm like to the teachers, we've got to go back and get her. I mean, we're 13 years old. And they're like, no, we're too close to Paris. Well, let's hope that she gets back. No cell phones. Just remember this. No cell phones. No nothing. It's not like she had money on her. And then we get to the hotel. We're freaking out. It's like one of my best friends. The one who threw the bed out of the window as well. And she finally shows up at the hotel all like, hey, fuckers. And we're like, what happened? She goes, oh, I borrowed some money from some people and I took the metro here, just figured it out. And here I am. Let's go do stuff. Now? I was like, what? Oh, I still talk to her all the time.
That's awesome.
We've known each other since elementary school. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. She's badass.
I was going to say like, that's nothing that woman has. I possess.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that she did that.
Wow. Good for her.
I know. All the way from Versailles, which if people don't know, it's not a short trip.
No.
and to find a metro from Versailles and she didn't even know the name of our hotel. She just kind of figured out where to go. It was so nuts, but she walked in so like calm. She's like, "Hey, what's up?"
She was hungover from that bottle of
Miranda.
brandy.
I was like, Miranda, oh my God, we thought you were like dead. And they wouldn't go back for her. The adults wouldn't go back for her. It's a different time back then.
Yeah, I was going to say different times. Wow.
Because now we put chips in your necks.
That's right.
If
you have air tags and shoes.
Yes, we have air tags and we can find your cell phone.
I air tag my child.
Yeah, whatever.
In his shoe. When we go to big places, he's 6, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
He wanders around.
I want to go to Disneyland. That just reminds me.
Let's do it.
Sadie hates it, but I want to go.
Let's go.
I want to ride some rides. Yes. I need a little Pirates of the Caribbean. I need a little,
Yep.
A little exit entrance.
You know who's my favorite person to go to Disney with? Lance Bass. He's my favorite person to go to Disney with.
Okay, we need to get Lance and the kids and Michael and go. And we'll get, we'll get our beep beeps. We'll do the things.
Yeah. I have shame around carrying a cane, but I will hop on that fucking rascal.
See, that's what is so funny to me. Like you're like, let's do it. Oh, there's I have an amazing beep beep. It's from the company called Rolls, and they're in the Netherlands. I think it's ROLLZ.
Oh, yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, and it's a wheelchair with a beep beep on it.
Oh, nice.
And it's foldable.
Great.
It's foldable with your own front, back, side, beep, 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 beep.
Oh, I bet it's much easier to navigate.
Yeah, than like a big cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just have the finger thing. Like
right, exactly.
I don't know. I haven't used it yet, but I will. My garage looks like literally a disabled store. It does. You've seen it. It's like there's like 9 different types of wheelchairs and canes and weird shit that I don't even use.
Oh, we should do one of your funny home videos with you showcasing all of them.
I should just do the
welcome to my home.
Yes, welcome to my home. Look at my disgusting garage, but
a lot of things happen in that garage.
There's so many things in there. Like I go out there and I'm like, God, I've never even used any of them except for my one wheelchair.
Yeah. Because I feel like when you were first diagnosed, you not panicked, but you
oh, I panicked.
You know what you need.
I fucking panicked.
You freaked the fuck out.
I was like,
order Duvall.
I was like pulling my hair out, like my life is over.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Now that George Michael, I'm never gonna dance again.
Oh, that's the song we're gonna dance to at the George Michael party.
We are at the George Michael party. I'm gonna make sure that I get invited again.
And we're gonna race down your hill in our beep beeps.
In our beep beeps.
The party.
And we're gonna just go and be like, yeah, this is our jam. Nobody can be on the dance floor but Jamie and myself.
We'll just put it permanently to the right, so we just go in circles.
Never gonna dance again. Guilty feeling got no rhythm. That's what he sounds like to me now in my head.
It is a perfect George Michael. Oh my God, I can't wait for that moment.
Get up before you go. Yeah, we're gonna be like,
nope. Nope. And now we leave. Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Well. See ya, Shame.
See ya. We have plans, Shame.
That's right. We have plans, Shame. Get in the trunk. I love you. Thank you so much for talking this through with me. Oh, I need a card. Hold on. Okay. It says, we are here to add what we can to life, not to get what we can from life. Well, I think that we are trying to add something to what we're going through with this. Yeah. So there's that. And yes, I do believe we all have value no matter what we're dealing with, no matter how we walk, no matter how we move, no matter what we look like. We all have something to add. We're all here for a reason. Don't let one fucker with a bad comment ruin that for you.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody listening, that doesn't define you.
No.
It's how you accept that. It's how you take that in and know your worth. And just the fact that person didn't think I'd be offended because he said I was like the scariest person he's ever met in the sense of being so strong. And little do people know that sometimes that armor is our weakest link.
Yeah.
You are the weakest link. Maybe I'll start watching.
Goodbye. And so it is.
So it is. This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windish.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.